I got sort of most of my training on the job on the oil rigs. I was given, a really good opportunity by somebody I'm still close to. We basically inspected pipelines, laid pipelines, and other offshore infrastructure. And yeah, so for about 10 years. And then I moved to Los Angeles after sort of seven other countries, trying a few other countries and traveling a lot. And I ended up, well, first of all, I ended up in Miami. And I was like, oh, I do not like this because I didn't party and don't take drugs. I drank probably too much, but not, to go out and get drunk, just a dabble in whiskey. And so I ended up moving to Los Angeles and then I got into stunt work for a little while, which was enjoyable in its own right, but it was never going to be a career. And then I was still working offshore on and off. And over the sort of 10 years I'd worked offshore, I'd gotten some long distance degrees. Some I finished, some I did not. And then one of them was computer science. And so I ended up with a job down in Australia, which was again sort of haphazard, but took the opportunity, went down to Australia, worked for one of the big four down there, and was taught pen testing and red teaming. Social engineering was my first sort of introduction to social engineering as a profession, not just a natural skill. I started out by saying I was a little bit of a social nuisance. There was some petty crime between 15 and 18. And a lot of that involved social engineering. We just didn't know that's what it was. We just thought we were sort of bullshitting our way into places or out of places where we were in trouble, so on and so forth. And here I was like, there's a career in this. This is amazing. So I ended up doing that for a few years. And then my last job, I was contracted, like independent. And my last job was for a data center, in-house data center team. They were responsible for the security of data centers for a company that you and I definitely know about and everybody else knows about too. And we got into one of their data centers, which I think was hosting very sensitive material. And we got through the sewers of all places because it was very well guarded. I didn't think we were going to get in. That was, again, there was a lot of luck involved in that, not just skill. And the more skill you have, the more important luck is. So we got in through the sewers. And I remember it being a really big deal. Everybody that we were with was like, white faced and just like, this is really bad. And me and a couple other people who had been contacted were like, this is amazing. And then I remember thinking, because of working offshore for so long and then doing red teaming for so long, I was like, well, if you want to keep them safe, put them underwater. And it was no more sort of brilliant than that. It was really just this simple, like, if you want to keep them safe, this is what to do. So then I knew that I was leaving the social engineer red teaming space. So I phoned my old boss and said, hey, what do you think about this? He was still doing lots of things offshore, was renting out vessels with crew and ROVs. And I was like, what do you think of this? And he was like, I've had some more thoughts. I like it. I think, yeah, if you want to do it, you should do it. And then I was like, do you want to do it with me? And so he does. And it's sort of been an enjoyable ride up until now, but it's been 4 long years of trying to chasing the wrong things, chasing some of the right things. You don't actually know what you're doing until it does or doesn't work out. That's startup culture. It's problem solving from start to finish. And you never know if you're solving the problem